Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Mohsen Mullah, and in this video lecture we are going to see another method for unit commitment problem solution. So here we are going to discuss about dynamic programming method. Okay, so in this method we need to do the following assumptions. First of all, so the whatever the cost will be incurring during the startup, so that startup cost is assumed to be constant. Okay, so here the startup cost is assumed to be constant. Okay, then second point that needs to be considered is, so while shutting down of the unit, whatever cost will incur, so that cost needs to be considered as zero. Shutting down cost of a unit is zero. Okay, so neglecting this shutting down cost and as well as keeping the startup cost constant, and finally we have to also consider a particular order. So there is a definite priority order of units. There is a definite priority order of units and is such that each interval of time specified minimum amount of capacity must be operating. Specified amount of, or which is minimum capacity must be operating. So these three conditions are required before we proceed for the dynamic programming concept. So earlier methods we already seen how we can actually do the combination of different units for economic operation of the power plant to supply a particular demand. So sometimes what will happen, so those methods are suitable when there is not much change in the load over a period of time. Suppose a fixed demand is incurring overall say 4 to 5 hours or for entire day, so then there is no need of bothering about any other method. So whatever methods we discussed earlier, like a priority list method or directly shutting down method, so those methods can be used. But when there is a change in the demand continuously, so based on the change in the demand, step by step we need to understand which combinations are most economical in that case. So for that purpose, this dynamic programming type of method is most suitable, and it is having more advantages because here there will be some finite steps will be required to determine the economic operation, as well as here no simultaneous equations needed to be solved to determine the particular combination of operation for economic operation of the plant at a particular load demand. So due to that, this particular method is preferred when there is a continuously change in the demand. Okay, so here in order to prepare optimal unit commitment table, the known quantities are, so whatever unit commitment table we are going to prepare, so for that whatever we require, let us just try to write those things required here. Okay, so I'll just write here for unit commitment table. What are required here? So first of all we need the total number of units. Okay, then their minimum and max capacities. Okay, whatever value they are going to generate, minimum value and maximum value is required here. Okay, then also the cost characteristics of cost characteristics. So that means whatever cost equations are there, fuel cost equation, so that equation should be known for each of the unit. Cost characteristics of individual units and of individual units should be known. Okay, and also it is useful if the fuel consumption is also known. So for hour to hour basis, that fuel consumption is also can be considered here. Okay, and it is also assumed that the load on each unit combination of units changes in suitably small step sizes and uniformly. Okay, so very important point here. So it is assumed that the load changes in small and uniform steps, small and uniform steps. Like if you take 50 megawatt step, okay, which is a small step, and so every time we are going to use that 50 megawatt as a step, and we are going to determine the combinations for by increasing that 50 megawatt from the previous value. Okay, so like that we are going to see this thing with the help of one example later. Okay, just try to briefly outline some of the points that we are going to use here in order to determine the that recursive equation to be used for solving that unit commitment problem using this dynamic programming method. Okay, so here let us try to understand with the help of some points how we are going to proceed here, or you can say whatever the steps we need to follow. Okay, so here basically what we are going to do is we are going to start with Ne2. Okay, so we are going to start with Ne2 arbitrary units. Okay, so suppose there are number of units available like 10. Out of that 10 units, so Ne2 units arbitrary. Okay, so there is no fixed can say process to decide the units, just select any two units. Okay, so here using with any two units the most economic combination is obtained. Okay, so here the most economic combination is obtained. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. And here for that particular combination, for various steps are selected for particular. Like suppose we are starting with some 400 megawatt, then we are going to add 50 megawatt at each step, and we are going to determine what is the combination that is most economic for these two units. Okay, so the here for each load, the economic strategy would be run either unit or both the units sharing loads economically between them. Okay, and as the cost curve of a single equivalent unit, so here it is together considered these two units together will form a particular characteristic. So that characteristic will act as a just like for any other unit. Now this unit is nothing but the combination of the two units. Okay, and the third unit is now added. Okay, so here I'll just write that point here by doing that discrete steps of loading. So the most economic cost curve of discrete form, curve in discrete form for the two units means it is nothing but now combination for the two units, or combination is determined, okay, or plotted. Okay, now to this characteristics third unit will be added. Okay, so the third unit is now added So now the earlier combination will act as one unit and the third unit will act as second unit. Again we are going to use the discrete steps to determine the cost characteristics of this particular combination. That earlier combination plus third unit is now added and the procedure is repeated. Procedure is repeated means what? So we are going to load the combination by using different loading values, like 50 megawatt each addition we are going to do above their minimum capacities, and from there onwards we will be able to determine the economic values. So in what combination they need to be loaded to get the minimum cost of production. Okay, so that we are going to see in a bit with the help of an example here. And the same procedure is repeated. Okay. Okay, so now like this we are going to therefore considering the composite cost characteristics of the first two units and the cost characteristics of the third unit for different loading. The cost characteristics of three combined unit is obtained. Thus this procedure results in a considerable saving in computational effort. This procedure of adding one unit and determining the cost characteristics of the new combination is obtained till all the available units have been taken into account. The advantage of this dynamic programming algorithm is clear that if we know the optimal way of loading n units, it is easy to determine the procedure for optimal loading of n plus 1 units. Okay, so basically what is done here, so let me just try to make you clear with the help of say number of units we are having here. So suppose these are the n units. Okay, so now what is done here, so it is having a particular characteristics here, and this is also having a particular characteristics. Now these two together are combined and one new characteristics is obtained. Okay, so now this characteristics and this characteristics is now whatever characteristics this is having. Okay, so these are you can say together operated say considering this is the one unit. Now this is going to act as one single unit and this is the third unit in that combination. So again we are going to get one resultant characteristics out of it. Okay, so now this unit is considered here. Okay, because this is also having a different characteristics. So now this is going to be acting as one unit. Now here in this one unit, one combination, so three units are there, and now this unit and this unit together are operated and we get another cost characteristics. So likewise all the units are kept on using. So when we have such n units, so whatever characteristics we are going to obtain for this n units operation. Okay, so we are going to get one final economic combination for this n units. So next unit, which is nothing but the n plus 1th unit, for that it will be very easier to determine the combination. So once we have one cost characteristics for n units, so this is for n units, so n plus 1th unit we can directly add to that and we will be able to determine the economic operation. Okay, so this is followed for as many units are available in the particular plant for the economic operation. So here to obtain this economic cost characteristics, what is the requirement? So small and uniform loading. So cost curve equations are there just by using the combination of the two cost curves. So most economic loading you can say points are obtained, and for that loading a curve is plotted here. Okay, so now likewise for all the combinations it is done. So this is called as dynamic programming because it follows one particular algorithm here. Okay, so whatever we are repeating for one combination is continuously repeated for the n plus one combination also. So it is going to follow a particular set of steps, so which is nothing but one algorithm we can say. Okay, so that is how it is done. So let us try to represent this in the form of mathematical equations, and let us try to obtain the recursive formula. Recursive formula means which can be used for next unit. Okay, so which is suitable for one combination will be also used for next unit. Okay, so here the advantage of the dynamic programming algorithm is for optimal is clear that if you know the optimal way of loading n units, it is easy to determine the procedure for optimal loading of n plus 1 unit. So let me just write, therefore the advantage of dynamic programming algorithm is that if we know the optimal way of loading n units, it is easy to determine the procedure for optimal loading, optimal loading of n plus 1 units. Okay, so that is what. Okay, so let us now try to determine a mathematical you can say representation for this algorithm here. Okay, so suppose we define cost function fn of x as follows. Okay, so what is fnx here? Fnx equal to, so minimum cost in rupees per hour of generating x megawatt by n units Okay, so generating x megawatt by n units, so that is the minimum cost function. Okay, so similarly we will write another fny cost of generating y megawatt by the nth unit. So here for n units, here it is just for that single nth unit. Okay, so therefore we can write here f of x minus y will be the minimum cost of generating x minus y megawatt. So following the same lines, x minus y megawatt by the remaining units, which is nothing but n minus 1 units. Okay, so therefore the application of dynamic programming algorithm results in following recursive relation, which is fnx equal to minimum fn minus 1 x minus y plus fn of y. Okay, so here whatever combination we are going to add, okay, so this unit plus the remaining units, so whatever minimum cost will come, so that cost of generation will be considered here. So this is the already obtained minimum cost, so this is for the new means for generating y. Okay, So using this recursive relationship, we will be able to determine the overall cost function of n units. Okay, so n minus 1 units and nth unit. Okay, so minimum of that can be obtained from this. Okay, so from this particular recursive relation, it is easy to find out the combination of units which will result in minimum operating cost for loads varying in small steps from the minimum permissible load of the smallest unit to the sum of the maximum permissible capacities of all variable units. Therefore, with this procedure, the total minimum operating cost and the load shared by each unit of the optimal combination are automatically obtained for each load. So here let me just write few lines for this. From the above relation, it is easy to find out the combination of units which will result in minimum operating cost for loads varying in small steps from the minimum permissible load of the smallest unit to the sum of the maximum permissible capacities of all available units. Okay, so that is it in this particular video lecture. So the example of this particular case we are going to discuss in the next video lecture. Okay, so till then, happy learning and thank you.